it's not an empty silence. It's the beating of a heart that sustains a world. Larger than human eyes can perceive. Beneath colossal trees and endless rivers lies another kingdom so small that most who enter the forest never truly see it. Yet it is this hidden kingdom that keeps the jungle alive. Every fallen leaf holds a story. Every decaying tree trunk becomes a city. Insects, the invisible architects of the forest, work tirelessly. They are the ones who pollinate the flowers that crown the canopy, recycle death into fertile soil, and maintain the balance that even the jaguar and the anaconda depend on to survive. By day, their wings shine like shards of glass caught in the sunlight. At night, the air vibrates with an uninterrupted chorus. Crickets, cicadas, thousands of voices rising like a hymn to survival. Walking through the jungle is like entering a universe within a universe, where the smallest beings carry the greatest powers. They are hunters and prey, builders and destroyers, fragile and eternal. Without them, the Amazon would collapse silently. With them, the forest remains in constant movement. Before we dive deeper into this hidden world, I invite you to subscribe to Planet Documented. And tell me in the comments, which city are you watching us from? Your voice connects this story to the rest of the world, just as these little beings connect the entire forest. The Amazon does not reveal itself all at once. It unfolds in layers, as if each step into the jungle opens a new curtain of mysteries. To the most hasty eyes, everything seems dominated by grandeur. Rivers that cut through the forest like the veins of a giant, trees that rise like the columns of an ancient temple, and immense predators that reign in the silence of the shadows. But the true support of this green empire does not lie only in the big ones. It is in the small, in the almost invisible, in that which rarely receives attention. Insects. They are not just inhabitants of the jungle, but engineers, builders, recyclers, guardians. Without them, the forest would not flourish. Without them, life itself as we know it in the Amazon would cease to exist. Each insect carries out a vital function. Whether by transforming waste into nutrients, spreading pollen that ensures new generations of trees, or serving as food for countless other species. It is a complex network, a silent gear that turns without ceasing. Throughout this journey, we will travel through this invisible universe. Let's hear their voices, understand their roles, and discover how in every microscopic detail, the forest renews itself. Because in the Amazon, even what seems insignificant is actually essential. In the vastness of the Amazon, the great trunks, immense waters, and distant roars often attract all attention. But what sustains this green empire is not the strength of giants, but the persistence of small ones. Insects are the true architects of the forest, invisible to many but indispensable to all. Among them, bees are tireless messengers. They not only produce honey, but also carry on their wings the responsibility of keeping life moving. Each flight between flowers is an invisible bridge that ensures that ancient trees continue to bloom. Without bees, the jungle symphony would lose part of its melody. Beetles, in turn, work in the silence of the earth. While many ignore them, they transform waste into nutrients, restoring the fertility that nourishes the roots to the soil. They are like underground engineers, recycling death, so that life can be reborn in eternal cycles. What seems insignificant to human eyes is actually a vital mechanism for the forest to continue breathing. Leafcutter ants, perhaps the most famous of Amazonian insects, carry leaves larger than their own bodies. From a distance, They appear as little green trails in motion, but through their collective discipline, they build hidden kingdoms. Underground, nurturing fungi that sustain their colonies, while also influencing the balance of the forest above. The efforts of thousands of individuals create structures that rival any human city in organization and purpose. These tiny architects, each in their own way, shape the Amazon more than the force of the waters or the roar of predators. They work silently, invisible to the hurried eye, but without them the forest would crumble. The true grandeur of the Amazon is measured not only in meters or tons, but in delicate wings, sharp jaws, and tiny communities that sustain the whole. When the sun bids farewell to the forest and darkness covers the treetops, the Amazon does not fall silent. On the contrary, it awakens in an invisible concert. It is at night that insects transform into musicians, conducting an orchestra that needs no sheet music to exist. The crickets begin the melody with their wings, which rub together in a constant rhythm. Each seemingly simple sound is a call, a warning, a declaration of presence. For them, it's not just music, it's a language of survival. This is how they find mates, demarcate territories, and warn others that life already exists there. The cicadas, in turn, raise the volume of the symphony. Their song resonates through the trees like miniature thunder, echoing almost hypnotically. It's a sound that can fill the entire jungle, covering rivers and branches with a vibrant wave that announces the strength of the little ones. What for us is mere noise, for them is celebration and perpetuation of life. And then, like loose notes among this chorus, the grasshoppers emerge. Their choppy calls remind us that each species adds a unique timbre to the music of the night. Together, crickets, cicadas, and locusts create a soundscape that no human silence could replicate. To those walking in the darkness of the jungle, this symphony may seem chaotic, but to the forest it is harmony. Every beat, every vibration, every song joins an ancient chorus that has existed since before any human word. It is the soundtrack of life that insists on asserting itself, even when the eyes cannot see. In the Amazon, night isn't just the absence of light. It's the presence of invisible voices. It's a reminder that even in absolute darkness, life never ceases to manifest itself. The song of insects is proof that the forest breathes at all hours, and that even the deepest silence is in fact full of sounds. In the vastness of the forest, where the jaguar hunts silently and the anaconda hides in the water, there are also hunters on a smaller scale, but equally relentless. They are miniature predators, insects that, despite their size, carry the same essence of power and strategy as the great lords of the jungle. The praying mantis, with its sickle-shaped front legs, waits motionless. It seems to pray, as if it were just another detail among the leaves. But when the opportunity arises, its movement is swift and lethal. In a fraction of a second, the prey is captured with no chance of escape. It is the perfect portrait of patience transformed into precise violence. Hunting wasps are architects of survival. Each sting is not just an attack, but the beginning of a macabre ritual. Many of them paralyze their living victims to feed the larvae yet to hatch. It's a harsh scene, but one that ensures the continuity of life. In the logic of the forest, there is no cruelty, only inevitable cycles. And between the branches, invisible webs await. Spiders, though not insects, share this tiny, ferocious universe. Their delicate thread is a deadly trap, nearly invisible to the unintentional. Once the victim touches the silk, there's no turning back. The predator approaches, silent, to envelop and consume. These miniature hunters prove that power lies not in size, but in strategy. While many see fragility in small animals, the Amazon shows that even the smallest of creatures can be masters of their own territory. Every attack, every ambush, every invisible gesture is part of a larger balance in which strength manifests itself in diverse ways. On a microscopic scale, the struggle for life is as intense as among the giants of the jungle. The difference lies only in the stage. What is almost imperceptible to us is, for the forest, a constant spectacle repeated for millennia in silence and shadow. In the Amazon, rivers are not just paths of water, they are mirrors of life, corridors of shadow and light where invisible secrets are revealed. Between their banks and depths dwells a silent army of tiny beings that shape the fate aquatic of the forest. Insects. Dragonflies with their translucent wings that gleam like shards of glass in the sun are agile hunters. They hover above the surface of rivers and lakes, observing. In an instant, they dive in precise flight, capturing mosquitoes and other prey. But their true mystery lies in the waters where they spend most of their lives as predatory nymphs. They're hidden beneath leaves and branches. They hunt with equal dexterity, reminding us that metamorphosis is one of nature's most powerful forces. Mosquitoes, so small and often seen as nothing more than a nuisance, carry a paradoxical importance. They are a food source for fish, amphibians, birds, and other insects. Their life cycle depends on still water, and each swarm that rises into the air is part of a larger balance. In the logic of the forest, even what seems like a mere pest plays a vital role. Other aquatic insects, nearly invisible to the human eye, glide across the river's surface as if walking on glass. Every discrete movement, every trace on the water's film is a sign that even the quietest places hide stories of hunting and escape. These tiny creatures, so fragile to our eyes, are fundamental cogs in the Amazon. They control populations, feed larger species, and keep the cycle of life in constant motion. It's also made of delicate wings. When we look at the river, we see only flowing silent battles that for those who breathing. Observe closely. Every drop is a stage where invisible dramas unfold. The Amazon is often remembered for its legendary. The jaguar that walks in the shadows, the anaconda that reigns in the predators, rivers to touch the sky, the trees that seem. But the true foundation of the forest lies in the small ones. It is the insects that maintain the invisible. Balance that keep the gears of life turning, silent, tireless, eternal. They are proof that greatness isn't measured solely by size or strength. Grandeur can dwell in fragile wings, in tiny jaws, in almost imperceptible voices that transform the night into a choir. Without them, there would be no flowers, no fruits, no cycles. Without them, even legendary predators would lose their stage. Each insect is a piece of a larger puzzle, a microscopic universe that together makes up the vastness of the Amazon. They are hunters and prey, architects and demolishers, musicians and warriors. They are the essence of the forest in its purest form, complex, interdependent, and untamable. Now I want to hear from you. Which city and country are you watching us from? Leave your answer in the comments. Subscribe to Planet Documented and share this video so more people can power and discover the mysteries of the Amazon. Thank you for making it to the end of this journey. Your presence here keeps the flame of our work alive. Every view, every comment, every share is part of this invisible network that connects the forest. To the world. See you on the next jungle dive, where more secrets await to be revealed.